It's the FooRcast, and I'm Gavin Ford.
Aki.
Double T.
Right, this week I saw this status on Facebook. We're all DJs, so we can talk about this. DJ fees we're going to talk about. How much people get paid to DJ. This is the status that made me think about this is a good topic. Apparently, DJing 2 till 6 a.m. for £150 is daylight robbery. Never heard so much shit in my life. So this guy is saying that that's not bad money. £150 for 2 till 6. That's 4 hours. £150. But it is till 6 in the morning. Keep that in mind. Good or gash? Is that good or gash payment? Starting, Owen, would you take a gig for 2 till 6 a.m. £150? Which I assuming this is a... Let's assume this is a commercial gig.
Yeah.
Not one of like playing your Sweet Baby Doublet records.
If you look at it from like a normal 9 to 5 job head on, that's £30 an hour. £30 an hour for a job sounds pretty good.
It's competitive.
2 till 6 in the morning sounds upsetting.
Actually, I'm going to add this in. It's... actually, should we say it's a local gig as well? So it's half an hour away. Within the half an hour away.
I do commercial bar in Salisbury a couple times a month.
Have you ever been to commercial bar in Salisbury, Ek? Is it a good one?
It's called Cluedo.
Oh, there you go.
A commercial bar.
Right, yeah.
Cluedo. I do...
Cluedo, like the game? Okay.
With it.
Oh, spicy.
It's a tiny little
Edgy.
shop window, and it doesn't need a lot of people to be absolutely rammed in there. But
How many people?
probably, would you say, Dave, like 50 people and it would be busy, if that.
It's just small, yeah, okay.
Really small.
So the biggest crowd you've ever played to.
That's good.
Good one, Ak. Good one, Ak.
Sorry, mate.
And I do 4 hours there for £100.
£25 an hour, Ak.
So
For
that's worse than what this guy's saying.
what time?
11 till 3. More
Okay.
sociable hours to an
Just.
extent.
Yeah,
But
no,
starting 2 a.m. till 6 a.m. that's you know how like you get a taxi in the day and it could be 20 quid to go from Southampton to the airport, but if you get it in the middle of the night, it's a lot more.
Oh, peak times, yeah.
Yeah.
So would you take the gig 2 till 6 at Cluedo?
Yeah.
For
If I
150
wasn't
quid?
doing anything else, yeah, I would do it because that's.
Ak, over to you.
I feel like the set time you're doing now, 11 till 3, is even more kind of like peak time.
As in, like, annoying.
You should get more money.
You should get more money.
Yeah.
But there's only 50 people and it's a small bar.
That's the issue, yeah.
I think I should get more.
But I feel like if a bar, say there's a bar and there's 600, 500 people in.
Hang on, would you take the gig before you get into it?
What, the £100 one?
100? No, don't try and steal Owen's gig. The £150, 2 till 6. You taking it?
No.
Why not? Because of the time or the money or what?
It's the time, yeah, the time.
What? How much you want to do it?
Oh, 250, I'd say minimum.
Oh, I mean, Owen, you might get the gig because you've undercut him.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's great business when work from me because
Right.
I'd take it because I'd want the money.
Okay, so £250. So Owen's gig 11 till 3. How much you want for that? Were you doing it for £100? Good job, Aki doesn't live in.
No, but I think that's reasonable as well. I don't.
No, I think it's reasonable because again, it is small. It is a business. They got
That's
those
the
overhead.
problem, yeah.
So what do you want? What do you want for that
I'm
gig?
saying for a venue that size, it's probably figure. But if I'm in a venue and it's like 200, 300 people in there, I want at least 250.
All right, what do you want for that gig? There's 50 people in there. It's 11 till 3. You don't know the owners.
I'm 150 a minimum.
Okay.
Like,
No, I think that's reasonable
you've
as
got
well.
to value your time.
So do you think you would DJ anywhere for less than £150 in any scenario? Commercial gig?
No, not if it's 3 hours or over. On a Saturday, I feel like DJ should be getting £50 an hour.
£50 an hour, you think? That's the minimum?
Yeah,
On a Saturday?
on a Saturday.
What about any other night of the week?
I think other nights of the week they can negotiate a cheaper price.
And what would you say the minimum you would do on a night of the week?
£25 an hour, something like that.
So
yeah.
that is what... I mean, do you do Fridays or Saturdays for that money?
Fridays or Saturdays, it's the same for both nights.
Okay, so you do it on a Friday, but you wouldn't do it on a Saturday.
Yeah.
But you probably wouldn't go till 3 o'clock.
No.
No, the thing is with this gig is that there's a bunch of us DJs that do it, and we all give our weekends, and I only ever give the dates that I have absolutely nothing planned, and I'm not worried about having nothing on the next day.
And can you play whatever you want?
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you're in a bar and you've got the crowd working and keeping them in, I think you deserve the money. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's it? You go to a bar now and 3 rounds it's like 50 quid. So if 3 people were buying drinks for 50 quid,
What's the minimum you DJ for? If he's doing £25, he's saying £25, he already at his minimum. Would you go below that?
No, I wouldn't go lower than that.
You wouldn't go lower than that.
Especially for.
I'm
those
almost going
hours.
for prices. Me and Gavin been DJ a long time. This is like 15 years ago. We were getting these prices. Well, inflation's gone up. Everything else has gone up. Drinks has gone up. Everything. So why is DJing?
Yeah, why is DJing?
Why DJ pay staying the same?
It's probably because it's becoming. I see set gigs now where they say you have to bring your own controller.
Yeah, exactly. And you've got to bring your own equipment.
Yeah,
which
I've had to do that for this one as well. I don't like doing it. I don't like taking my stuff there.
No way. No way would I bring
no.
my own equipment. Like, it would have to be stupid money to bring your own equipment.
Like for years, obviously, we were doing 4 gigs, so it's always. But the last couple of years, I've taken a few gigs on, and they're like, you have to bring your own equipment. And
that's for but that's for our mates.
No, well, I had a gig last year, and they goes, you got to bring your own controller.
Yeah, no.
And I was like, I won't name, but it's a bar in Southampton, and I was like, they booked me. And on a day, they were like, "Don't forget, you bring your controller." And I was like,
Yeah, I'm not into that. I think the bare minimum.
But that's what I mean. It's expected these days that people have their own controllers.
Yeah, I think that like you guys are a lot higher on the DJ ladder than I am as well.
But we're talking about commercial DJing. We're not talking about.
I reckon 80% of people who DJ commercial now have to take their own equipment, their own controller.
80%.
I reckon so. Yeah.
That is mental. If that's true. DJs, if you're out there, can you let us know in the comment let us know how many of you are taking your equipment in. I'd be really, really, really interested to know. Just comment and say.
Yeah.
But that's because that's mental. But yeah, I would.
So sorry, was this guy on Facebook saying that that's a good deal or a bad deal?
He was saying that it was good money. He was saying that people were saying that it's mental, that it's too low, but he's saying it's actually decent money. And I think, was it 2 till 6?
2 till 6. That's what you said.
If I had another bar and I was doing like 7 till 1, and then I could do both in a night, like you coming away and you do another 150 quid, then you're getting £300 for a night. That's not bad cricket.
Yeah,
but it's a long night. But I mean, I look at like these, as you say, I think rather looking at it as a night's like, what am I getting per gig? It's like, you're coming home with £300 for a night's work.
That's the thing. Like, so from my point of view, if I do a pub job 2 days a week and I get like £12 an hour for that. If someone says, "Oh, do you want to come do a job and get £30 an hour?" I'd say yes to it. It just happens that this job is DJing for 4 hours in the early hours of the morning.
Oh yeah, so how many hours would you have to work at the pub to get the 4 hours worth of DJ?
So I'm doing 5 hours.
8 hours, so you'd have to do double.
Yeah.
And it's I imagine it's not as enjoyable.
The pub work?
Yeah.
Well, surprisingly, it's not as enjoyable as DJing.
Well, some people might like it.
Also though, the gig you do they give you free drinks?
Yeah, free drinks.
See, so I mean that kind of adds to incentive. He's getting paid and he's getting a free night almost. Well,
how many are you smacking in on a night?
When I first started there, I was probably taking the piss. I was getting battered every time.
Yeah,
and I'd be having beers.
So
and
2 drinks
and mixed. Now,
no, but I mean like that with the cost. If you get free drinks as well, that kind of adds the more incentive to do it.
And this, you're getting whole bottles brought over.
Yeah.
Well, because how I saw it, especially when I started doing it, is that I was going out, but I didn't want to go to nightclubs in Salisbury, and there's not really much to do in Salisbury. So I'd happily go out sort of early evening, have some drinks in a pub, see some friends, and then go and DJ when I've got a bit of a buzz.
Well, yeah, at my peak, commercial DJing peak, I was DJing 7 nights a week, and I was doing 3 gigs on a Saturday night. And it was my social, because you go around and there'd be thing. And then towards the end, I got to hate it. And they were all, that was all free drinks and thing. Yeah. And then I started to, when the FooR thing started to take off, it just started to get like, I just don't want to go. I just don't want to go here. But the money was like, I was on £250 a night then, back then.
That's what I'm saying.
This is like 10, well, start of FooR,
also,
10 years ago.
Obviously, people might watching this who do it. Some people might be DJ in London. There might be more money in London. I don't know.
It is. Yeah.
Because it's a higher cost of living in London to places like Salisbury where it's kind of like a little town.
Yeah.
£100 might seem a bit more reasonable to go and DJ to 50.
I'd say the other thing, to pivot but stay on the same thing, when people start DJing, so obviously we work with DJs and our labels are focused on up and coming DJs. They always ask, what should I charge for DJ sets? And this is for not commercial sets. This is for you're going out to do a double T set, a FooR set, a this, a that. How much should you charge? So what would you say to a new artist that's just come out? What would you charge?
I'd be asking you the question because I'm still not sure. I've been DJing on and off since like 2020, actually having gigs, but I've never had like regular gigs. And a lot of the time it's promoters coming to you and saying, we can give you X amount of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's ranged from we can give you nothing to we can cover your travel. We can give you 50 quid. I think the most I got paid was 250 quid for an hour set.
Yeah.
So I think so to let everyone know how much they should get paid. Here's the answer. I'm going to let you all in on the source. It's whatever you're happy to accept. but a promoter's got a budget, and a promoter's probably booking a headliner. They know how much that headliner's going to cost, and then underneath it, a headliner's going to sell all the tickets. Underneath it, they're not going to spend a lot of money. They're going to know, a promoter's going to know what they want to give you when they message you. So you always say, what's your budget? And then it's, are you prepared to go and do that for that money? Where is it? How far? How long is it going to take to get there? What's it going to cost to get there? Do you have to get a hotel? How much is the thing? And then what do you get afterwards? See, a lot of people say about, DJ, I should get paid more and should get paid this and da-da-da-da. But it's like, problem is with all these controllers, all these things, there is hundreds of people that will come and do this thing. Promoters have lost the thing where they will, this DJ's quality, I'm going to book this person. They will book someone who's more popular for less money or got bigger social numbers and this and that. And the night sacrifice, which is a problem. But that's another conversation. But I always think, like, obviously, there's a thing about DJs doing stuff for free, and we've done stuff for very, very cheap and for free, and it's changed our lives.
That's what I was saying. Like, you're starting off, and you want to start. Some DJs are going to say, "Yeah, I'll come for free,"
but you should
maybe you should do, because then if you're good and you bring people, then you prove your worth, and then you can start saying,
"Yeah, 100%. You should only do it if you're good." That's a very important thing. Do not go if you're not ready for free, even if it's for free, because it's like,
because if you're good, you're prepared. You turn up, you do a good job. You've brought you a lot of friends. Promoters will see this and they'll go, "We'll book you again." But then you start knowing your worth, and then you start saying, "Well, actually,
I don't think
I'm not coming for free. I'm coming for this price."
You should never be the person to suggest doing for free.
No,
you should do, as you said, what's your budget.
But all young DJs starting out, if they're going to get off, say there's a Minister of Sound, someone says, "Got you a gig of Minister of Sound, can't pay you, we can get you a couple of guests." Most of them are going to say yes.
Yeah, I've done exactly that. I think it's about choosing what's the right ones to
most of them are going to say yes.
Accept.
Because there's an opportunity of playing there, and obviously, like, eventually you have to kind of do these things, but to build up your worth, and then you eventually say, no, actually, I'll come and play, but you'll have to pay me this much, because I bring people, I do a good job, and like, you're going to get your money's worth.
Well, exactly, yeah. It's value, isn't it? You've got to have value. You can't just go, I want £500, and it's like, you haven't done, like,
but it's difficult to put value on yourself until you go do things for free and show that you have value.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, like, I think realistic from a business perspective, as a promoter, if you're looking at it from both sides of the thing, because obviously we're DJs and we've done promoting events. Really, if you're £200, you should be selling £400 worth of tickets, because you should be making you should, well, at least £200. You should be at least covering yourself. If you can't, like, if you're not, or doing £200 worth of promotion and posts, or you got that sort of following thing. I know people get I'm a DJ, I'm not a social media, I'm not a promoter, I'm not this, I'm not that. Like, but that's people are now. You got.
But that's the difference. If you're a promoter, then they should. But if you're like a bar owner, if you're bringing people in there spending money on drinks, then it's a different situation.
But people say about this social media thing, I'm not a promoter, I'm not this, I shouldn't have to post, I shouldn't have this. We had to go and fly outside clubs at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning to get on things. Yeah. You DJ for free and go to Bournemouth and fly outside Slinky at 3 or 4 in the morning to get a gig. Like, I'd rather have fucking written a sentence out and posted it, or posted a picture. Like, this has always been the case. It's always been the thing. Like, you either want to, do this or you don't. Like, obviously, we're in a position where we can pay everyone for events and make sure everyone gets covered now. But if you're like a young kid hungry to start promoting and doing things and taking a gamble, like, you haven't got the money to lose.
That's probably why lots of people do just rely on, like, local promoters rely on their friends, don't they, to do like support slots and things like that.
But we need up and coming promoters. We need up and coming promoters doing small things, and like, if every DJ goes, every DJ wants hundreds of pounds, and the local promoters can't do the thing. There's no small gigs. Small gigs lead up to the big gigs. The agents aren't going to let new promoters have big acts. You got to start and cut your teeth on these things. It's like an ecosystem where everyone needs to work together. The clubs need to give the new promoters a chance. The new promoters need to let the new DJs a chance. The new DJs need to not charge too much. If the promoters are making money, they should 100% be paying DJs. And if a promoter's giving you your first ever gig and the night hasn't gone well, like, is the promoter a dick for not paying you? Not really. If the club's full when it's packed, then yeah, they're a dick. But I think that's a fair way of looking at it.
What were the people in the comments to that Facebook post saying?
The top comments, I think we can see are... Someone said, I was doing that 12 odd years ago, let alone with inflation now, which is what we sort of said. And then the guy, he replies, I thought I was doing a solid with that price, to be fair. Guess not, their loss. And then he said, let a kid do it for 50 quid and play the Beatport top 10 tech house chart, which I guess is the problem, is it's so easy to DJ now. When we were doing it 12, 15 years ago, you had to have a collection. Even then, it was easier, but you had to have a collection of music and skill and draw on years and years of experience, when now you can just go and down. You've got software where you can just DJ straight from Spotify. Someone can request something, and you've got every song in the world.
Yeah, do you not think, like, because there are more DJs just doing, and it's easy, that the good ones do stand out even more, though?
Yeah, but also there's also people that are trying to make money. And
also, there's seems to be more and more DJs these days and not enough clubs. So I don't know how that's
the thing.
Affecting things as well.
I put on a event in Salisbury last year. Obviously, you guys played at it.
Mm-hmm.
It was the most ticketed event that the venue had ever done, and then the venue closed the end of that year.
That's what I'm saying.
It's tough out there for venues at the moment. So we've got to say, I think, there's a bit of give and take with everyone, isn't there? Like, it's not. Yeah, it's tough out there. I think everyone needs to help each other.
I think as a commercial DJ, me personally, it's £50 an hour. But if I'm starting off and I want to try and think, you'd go and do it for free. Playing your own songs and playing.
The bottom line is,
if
you want to make dance music and you want to DJ dance music, you got to do it because you love it. You're not doing it because you want to make money. Yeah. And if you love it, then playing music you love in front of people that appreciate it is amazing. And as you say, if you keep doing it, you keep getting better and better and better. Your value goes up. You do naturally pick it up. But if you are doing this for money, do commercial DJing. Yeah. And then that's money.
Yeah, I think that's my case. I'm not doing it to become the best commercial DJ.
No, because I am.
But I'm saying that when you're a commercial DJ, you're going to a place where the money they make as a bar, as a club as a whole, so they can pay you. Where it's a private promoter, they got to make sales on the tickets and stuff like that. And they're not guaranteed to do that. And so things as much money. Yeah, makes sense. That's why they struggle to pay. If they're going to have a headline as well and have a struggle to pay.
But let us know in the comments. Yeah. Let us know in the comments what you think.
What's the lowest you do?
Let us know. What do you do?
I saw that status and I did see it, and a lot of people were against that price, saying it's
most in the screenshot. Everyone's saying that it was too low.
Well, I read the comments, so I saw that post as well, and most of the comments were saying that was too low, especially that time of night and 4 hours.
Yeah, that is a heavy shift.
Yeah,
but also you got to be like, what you're prepared to do it for. You might need the money.
Yeah,
and
also we don't know where that was. It didn't say located. If that's in London, that's obviously going to be quite a low
exactly,
price. Yeah. If it's in Salisbury, that might be an all right price. So it's like,
what would you say is an all right price for in London?
That's what I need to know. I don't know. We've only ever done gigs there as FooR. I've never DJ'd there as like a.
I've not done but I DJ'd in a River Island in London, and it was 300. I got £350 15 years ago, but I DJ'd. It's when they started putting DJs in shops. That was a thing.
Yeah.
But they wanted DJs to obviously play like house music and dance music and create a bit of a vibe. I was playing like Simply Red. I was like, I thought, this is an amazing opportunity for me to play music that I never get to play anywhere else.
Yeah.
So I didn't do many of them.
Basically, you killed the shop DJ.
Well, I was just playing music that you'd hear in a shop anyway.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to smack some Simply Red. I'll never get to play Simply Red.
Yeah. You don't see much of that anymore. When I went to New York last year,
I ruined it for everyone.
I went to New York last year and loads of shops are doing it still over there and like places like that, but I don't really see it in like London
Westquay
anymore.
used to have like a student lock-in and there'd always be like
DJs to do that. But but if anyone knows what the actual going rate is in London, actually let us know.
Yeah, I'd actually really be interested.
I'd actually be interested to know actually.
Yeah, let us know.
But for someone that starts doing it free, how would they then transition to being paid? Because you'll get promoters to be like, oh, well, you did it free last time.
Well,
but this is when you show your worth. You start saying, you'll go back to them and say, well, hang on, you saw me smash it. I bought 20 odd 30 people. I can't be doing that for free every time.
Yeah, because a promoter will look at a thing when you're putting together a lineup. You'll look at who's going to go on the support, and it'll be like, this person does loads of social media posts. This person plays this sort. You'd hope a promoter's going, this person plays this sort of music, that sort of music, and the flow of the night is going to be perfect. But you might go, I see this person if you haven't booked someone, you might go, I keep seeing this person post stuff. I keep seeing this. I keep seeing that. I'm going to message them and see what they play and sort of fit them on. You've got to, it's the same as anything. You've got to be noticed. Someone's got to see it and go, oh yeah, I see what they're doing and I like what they're doing. So put them on. That should be the ideal thing. But, you know, there is an element of, I can sell you a lot of tickets, put me on.
Yeah.
And you know, people.
And there's a lot of amazing DJs who are they're not very good on social media, so they're going to lose out on this kind of situation, aren't they?
Yeah, but I mean, promoters should be going, this is musically how the night's going to go, and that should be how promoters think. But there is obviously a business element, and it's the hardest it's ever been out there. So you can't knock someone for putting someone on who's going to say, I'm going to sell you 50 tickets. You know, like no one can ignore that, in this day and age.
As a commercial DJ, is there less preparation into a set than if you're doing a titled show in your guy's artist name?
Well, as a commercial DJ, you're doing longer, but my preparation is still the same. If I'm doing a commercial night, I know the peak of the night is at say midnight, and I know the big records that I have to be playing at the peak of the night.
Yeah.
And then, as Zaki said earlier, you got to keep them in the bar. The idea to be your worth is to keep them in spending. So it'd be like, I'm going to save the big records for this part of the night, because if you play them too big and everyone goes, so that's going to be the peak, and then afterwards keep them in there, and then
on my USB stick I've got like main folder, which is like the main hour, and that's what I'll play. I'll know that'll keep the crowd.
Does it take, I guess each night you do it will be similar, like say you do every Friday that 1 hour, unless there's new.
Yeah, well, I remember Gav, he was doing like 8 a week, and he was just like, when we started doing FooR, it was refreshing for him, because he was literally playing the same. It was like,
because I was DJing off Serato, which had history, and then I was literally just playing the same.
Yeah, and it's like
it was too, like, I was.
You'll just add, back then you'll add like a Rihanna song into that playlist, like every other week or so, and it would just be like.
But I mean, the thing about commercial DJing, that why people want more money, is because you got to play the same songs. And if my playlist from 12 years ago is probably, if I went and DJed now, probably most of that playlist would still work now.
Yeah, it would.
And there's not a huge amount of records that get added, because people want to hear the same shit, which is why you get more money. You want more money because there's not enjoyment, because especially, and if you get good at it or get a lot of work like I did, you're going into autopilot, you're playing the same stuff, and you're waiting for that last half hour. The first bit of the night when no one's in there, you can warm up and play different stuff, like Simply Red. Or the end bit where I can play, like, I would play drum and bass or slow jams or, you know, stuff, because the club's emptying and and it doesn't matter. Those are the two favourite bits. And then everything else is a science of keeping people in there and keeping people in there. But the same records are going to keep people in there.
When we first started FooR, we would be doing residency work for ages. Gav more so than me, but I was doing stuff. But it was so refreshing. We were loving it to go play a set and play music we wanted to actually hear. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like.
And then it was like from going to one gig, doing what you loved, to one gig, then going.
Because you continued it.
Sometimes you're doing in the same night. Like, I would turn up, do a FooR gig, and then turn up to do my residency. And then some weeks, obviously, I was resident at Switch for the student nights. You do a FooR gig, and then the next Friday you'd be there, and they'd be like, "Oh, why are you here playing Justin Bieber? You were sick last week." Like, and I was sort of
that actually did happen, though, didn't it?
It did happen, yeah. And it was like, oh, okay, yeah. That's...
But like you say, Gav had to do that because that was the money was paid well to allows you to do the FooR stuff. So he had to. It was like a catch. He had to do like that in order to do the FooR. So,
but also in that defense of that, at this part of FooR's success early on was the bootlegs that we made. Yeah. And it's because I was DJing commercial nights and seeing the tunes that were big. So say Stormzy Shut Up, and what parts of it they were reacting to. Then we can make a Stormzy Shut Up bootleg, capturing the bits that was popular with the crowd, because I could see it when I'm DJing it, and then put our bit on it.
Yeah.
And then that was part of this, and that's from commercial DJing, like Skepta Shut Down, all these ones that were like, things that were like, this elements of it are going off in my commercial gigs, in the student gigs. They love this part of the record. I can make a thing. I did an R. Kelly one, which obviously before the thing, and someone actually ripped off my bootleg idea because the bootleg was so good and so big. I'd do edits before every freshers, because obviously could produce. Did this R. Kelly bootleg, and someone ripped off my bootleg and got it signed. They did it much better than I did, because I was never trying to get it signed. I was just trying to play a thing. And that's from, and that sort of element of, I know what sort of clips of songs, what bits of songs to react to. I can make dance records out of them. That was pivotal to our success. So
It was
I
good
would
research, wasn't it? It was good research, Gav.
well, yeah, I think commercial DJing, like, it's better.
Good
You'd
for
be better
research.
off to be doing commercial DJing and learning about music and how music's put together is better than working in a pub.
Yeah,
You're right.
and what works on dance floors and how you can put those elements into your.
What part of songs work, how songs
Yeah,
work,
yeah,
how
yeah.
songs make you feel, how songs are put together, how music transitions together. That's from playing music and seeing what's popular, why it's popular. Like, that is pivotal to our success early on because we knew what worked, and then we made our sets better, which meant we got bookings quicker. So yeah, there's an element of that. But we were not saying do commercial gigs for free to learn, because we were getting paid and paid handsomely. but I would say, like, we're actually really early on in FooR's time. It might have been just before FooR. I did a gig with Gorgon City, and they were like, I remember saying about I do commercial DJing, and they were like, "Well, you're mental." And then I was like, "Oh no, am I mental? Maybe I am. If Gorgon City said I am." But
I agree with them.
yeah. But there was actually a lot to be said from what you learn about music, making music, and putting together music. But I think we've extensively covered that.
I'd just be interested to know what DJs get paid in like London, Manchester, the major cities compared to.
We're all over. Let us know wherever you're from. Let us know what you are, what you're getting paid, or what you would get paid. What's too little, what's too much. Let's keep the conversation going. Well up.